Hey, it's the Big Kahuna, Pat Miley, with your blue collar conservative video. Uh, haven't been on in a few days. One of the reasons why I was kind of dealing with some issues with people on social media. I actually got some threats thrown my way about my prior video about Kyle Rittenhouse and his issues. I was on the phone about a half hour ago with my son. I'm very concerned for him. I was very concerned with him, but turns out he's clear, hopefully clear of whatever it was. He called me and told me he was on the Beltway around the Baltimore area, heading back to Myrtle Beach. When he was in a traffic jam and a large truck goes by them on the shoulder, and it says Walter Reed Hospital Mobile Intensive Care Unit on the side, and followed by other buses that had some kind of markings on them that could have been DHS. He wasn't sure on that, but there was a lot of ambulances. So I tried finding out the Baltimore and Washington area media. I called them about it. They pretty much didn't have any information at all about it, about why something like this would be deployed and all these ambulances flying with it. What's going on? I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy nut, but it bothers me. It's sometimes something like this might be going on not far from our nation's capital, and my son is caught in the middle of it. So I spoke with him since then. He's out of the traffic jam. He's hauling ass out of the DC area. So hopefully be hearing from him in about maybe 5-6 hours that he's back home. Now, the other thing that of course I want to talk to you about is the incident that happened in Wisconsin yesterday at the parade. The man ran over somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 people, killed 5, 20 hospitalized. Apparently someone lost both legs. This guy is a piece of shit by all accounts. His criminal record is 48 pages long. He has been arrested for multiple felonies and should have been in jail for this incident, before this incident. 2 days ago, the day that Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted, the day he was acquitted, he tried to run over some people with a car then, and he was arrested, and he was charged with reckless endangerment, and he got out on $1,000 bail. A few weeks before that, a number of weeks before that, he was involved in an incident again where he tried to run people over, and he pointed a loaded gun at him. And he's a convicted felon. He's not supposed to have a gun. But both these incidents happened in Milwaukee. The incident that happened the day of Kyle Rittenhouse's acquittal, and he was already out on bail on a charge that he was charged with felony bail jumping with, when he got arrested for pointing a gun at people, and what did the DA charge him? Did the DA charge him with aggravated assault? No. That's what, if you're pointing a gun at someone, that's aggravated assault. That's what I would have arrested somebody for when I was a cop, is aggravated assault. No, they charged him with reckless endangerment. He pointed a loaded firearm at 2 people. So he was charged with 2 counts of reckless endangerment, and he got out on $1,500 bail on that one. Then he got out on $1,000 bail. He was getting out on low bail on everything, because these prosecutors aren't doing their jobs. They're liberal prosecutors in liberal cities. So this guy should have been locked up 10 times over prior to this incident. Uh, it's unbelievable that people can't go to a Christmas parade and with their family, with their children. There are 5 children that are in the hospital now. I don't know how many of the children were among the dead. If God, I hope none. But a group of known as the Dancing Grannies apparently got hit pretty hard. They were involved in the parade, and he must have hit them head on. So there's a lot of people wounded. There's 5 dead, and other people who were not as seriously injured. The total injured, I believe, is somewhere in the 40s. Horrible thing. And this could have been prevented. They could have kept him in jail, but for some reason, to liberals, it's a mortal sin for them to keep violent criminals in jail, particularly African American ones. Somehow they're not supposed to arrest them. They're not supposed to charge them. They're not supposed to see put in prison. Is this what you call prison reform? Because if this is prison reform, you can fucking have it. That is just fucking nuts. Now, getting on to somewhat a lighter subject. Someone posted a fake headline, satire, and it said, Toby Keith comes out as gay. Now, I'm a huge Toby Keith fan. Seen him in concert a couple of times. Great guy. There's no question in my mind that this guy isn't gay. But people took it seriously. And the remarks that were placed on it, the people got to learn that a joke is a joke and satire is satire. And you're hearing the comments from both ends of the spectrum were just absolutely hilarious. And I loved how this friend of mine threw this bomb out there, because the reactions on everybody were just over the top, ridiculous, stupid, laughable, and you just scroll down and see these remarks, how idiotic these people are that you run into on social media. Same kind of idiots that on the keyboard that can think it's okay to threaten someone's life. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. You don't threaten people's lives. You don't do that. If you do that, there's something fucking wrong with you. If you're fucking threatening people's lives, they're not the problem. You are. Okay, but that's what I had to deal with for the last couple of days, and I actually kept a lot of that from the wife because she was concerned. I gave him my older Pennsylvania address. No, but yeah, that just goes to show you just how many lunatics are on here. You got the people with the Trump derangement syndrome. You got the people who believe in that global warming is for real. You got the people who believe that 9/11 was an inside job. You come to me and you tell me something like that, you're going to get hit. I'm just telling you that right now. Well, I'm going to cap things off again with why I said what I said about Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse was getting torn apart in the media as a white supremacist and a vigilante, and he was not that. There was nothing to indicate that he was a white supremacist. He was a messed up kid with mental problems, and the right-wing media, the Foxes and the Newsmax, were putting him out there as a hero. And he's no fucking hero either. He's a kid that's messed up. and neither one of them wanted to cover issues that weakened their point of view on this thing. Rittenhouse was thrown out of the Police Explorers Club because he was going around town dressed like in his Police Explorers uniform, identifying himself as a police officer, and he got reported for it twice. So he got thrown out of that. He got thrown out of the fire academy because he, as a cadet, they must have had some discipline issues for him. He was getting the shit kicked out of him at school. That's why he dropped out of school. He was a mommy's boy who had issues, who wrote checks with his mouth that his ass couldn't cash, and he had no positive male role model in his life, and he wanted to be a man, and he wanted being a man meant to be a hero. And because he wanted to be a hero, he went to Kenosha to his dad. And I noticed I said he had no positive male role model in his life. His dad was pretty much absentee, but he got his rifle from his dad. He didn't transport it across state lines like everybody was saying. He got his rifle, and he went out trying to be a big man. You know, he wanted to help people. He wanted to be a hero. It's because he had such a fragile ego because of everything that's happened to him. He had no training other than he's fired the weapon. He's fired the weapon in the past. He had no training. He had for tactics or situational awareness, none. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been pulled away from those. He wouldn't have went solo the way he did. And that's when he got picked off with these guys that went after him. He's lucky to have survived that encounter. Very, very lucky. And he's very, very lucky that he had a good enough defense attorney. But he was also very lucky that he had a sympathetic judge, I think, and he had a prosecutor that couldn't find his dick with both hands. That's very helpful. I mean, shit, he charged him for having an SBR, short barrel rifle, and never bothered measuring the rifle's barrel. That's the kind of prosecutor you had in there. He was literally going off of liberal talking points. That's what he was using, the basis of his prosecution. Kyle defended himself. There's no two ways about it. He defended himself. But that doesn't mean he was right, because his mental health issues put him in these circumstances. And I've been told, and I've read, that he's getting PTSD counseling. Well, I'm hoping he's getting more than that, because I don't want to see this kid. He's really pumped up as a celebrity. He's going to be on Tucker Carlson tonight. I don't want to see them pump him up and then he becomes deflated after he's no longer in the public eye. That could be a pretty traumatic thing for him, and he could actually end up getting involved in some kind of incident again, which is what I don't want to see. I hope he's getting the kind of help he needs and that we never hear about him again. That's what I would love, because then he's straightened out and he'll live a good life then. Get the hell away from your mom and your dad. Find something better, because they've done you no good. Yeah, your mom has been going around getting money for your criminal defense and everything, but part of your issues has been your mom and the type of men that she associates herself with. So get away from her. Get away from your dad. Find a good role model. Find somebody honorable, and try to work hard and make your life your own, and don't obsess about being a hero. I know a lot of heroes, and I'll tell you what, they're not exactly the happiest people in the world, what they live through. So that would be what I would hope for Kyle Rittenhouse. All right, done for the interview, the video for tonight. This is on the porch of my house my apartment rather, in Myrtle Beach. I'm still getting used to living here. It's fucking beautiful. The people are great. It is a bright red state. I mean, there's a store called Keep on Trumpin' on the main dragway that's got all sorts of Trump paraphernalia that I love. And there's a lot of people, a lot of like-minded people down here and I'm very happy that God put me on this path to being here, even though I'm still disabled and everything. I'm living a better life here than I think I could have ever hoped for up there in Pennsylvania. So, thanks for tuning in. See you next time, or you'll see me next time.